Yeah, title check in Elliot Wilson, man. This guy's made me into a believer, man. He's a certified hit maker, man. Every time I tried to doubt him, he just kept coming with another gold album, another platinum single, another new project with Weezy just dropped, Emergency Tsunami. EXO's very own Nav is here. What's up, Nav?
What's going on, man?
Yo, man, like I said, man, I apologize, man. I haven't been hating on you like a lot of cats on the internet at times. You've had your battles with the internet, but I do feel like I've been sleeping on you a little bit. Like, do you enjoy proving people wrong? Because I feel like I saw a quote you had with GQ. You said eventually they're going to respect me. It feels like you have such momentum going right now that you are actively silencing all the doubters.
I mean, it's really just a byproduct and like a sign that I'm doing the right thing, like by trying to get better every day at what I do. So every day I'm just trying to improve and make my lyrics better. And I take notes. Like there's hate, but then there's people that's like really just saying the same thing over and over again. Like you see more than one comment saying the same thing, kind of got to dial in and take in what they're saying, what the fans want from you. So I'm just glad I could deliver.
Yeah, when I connected you in this new project, I feel like obviously you've always had like the melodies and the clever flows and everything, but I think it's even more lyrically confidence coming from you, right? Is that fair to say? Like in terms of how your subject matter and the way you like on the microphone, it seems like you're even more confident as an MC right now.
Yeah, for sure. Even like the other day when I was around Belly, he was telling me how much he liked it, and he noticed that like my pen went up, and that was a big sign for me, like for him to pay attention to, and that means that I definitely stepped that part up. So yeah, and a lot of like watching my favorite artists, like Future, Thug, and watching their process, it just made me better too. And I'm just glad I could deliver once again.
Yes, sir. What made you deliver again? You couldn't sit on the #1 album that you already have this year, man. You decided to come back in.
I mean, the whole process is really like doubtful the whole time. Like from the minute I started this project, like I doubt myself a lot in a way where I try to like make myself feel secure about my doubts, like by like showing up to work the right way and like getting the results I want out of the work that I'm doing. Once I'm doubtful, and then at the end when I hear it and play back, I'm like, all right, cool, like I did it. So I don't feel full of myself the whole time while I'm working.
Yeah. What drew you to like? I mean, I know you go back with Weezy, like, but when you look at his production, like, what do you think it is about his production that is distinctive, and what made you want to do a whole full project with him?
I mean, I know Weezy for a while, like for like 5 years, and just like from knowing him as like kind of like he was coming up, I didn't really know who he was. Just liking his beats, to seeing how much he's grown and I've grown, and then we made a few songs together that like have done really well, like Turks and stuff like that. And he's been on fire with Hot and all those songs. It just felt right. Like since we know each other, we're friends. Like why not just do this shit together? And like really, Cash was the one who really wanted us to do it because he's seen the momentum that we had together already. So here we are.
Yeah, tell me about Cash. I mean, I know Cash a little bit, and the industry knows Cash, but like, can you tell people a little bit about Cash and like what his role is with your career and how important the role he's been to you as a mentor, and it's not just a label, but your real personal connection to him?
I mean, I'm just a music maker, right? So like anything that, for example, if I want to talk about how hands-on he is, like for this project, me and Weezy made the beats. I did the recording. I sit with the engineers and make sure everything's right and everything's good. But he's the one coming up with the designs for the merch. He's the one coming up with ideas for the videos. He's doing the treatments with people. Like he's really hands-on. Like he do almost half my job for me, just not on the music end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the relationships and everything. So it's like a tag team. We're like the Legion of Doom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I heard like with the pandemic and all that, you just was able to just go to. He built a new home studio like that was baked out and shit. Like so that was the key to like getting going on this project.
It made it way easier with everything with COVID. Like all the studios being shut down, people wanted to book them when they opened a lot. So just having that at the crib was just a blessing.
What's it like being a member of EXO, man? I feel like with the success from all you guys, and especially with Weeknd leading the charge, you guys have all still maintained like a mystique. What is it about being a member of EXO, and like how do you maintain that mystique? And do you feel like it's part of what it is to be a member there? Are you almost like protecting the brand?
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. But I feel like we're all like-minded in a way. Like when I sit with Abel, it's like just one of my friends from Toronto. So it makes it easier that we're all Canadian and stuff. And then plus we're not hype people. We're not hyped for attention. We're not never like that, So, I mean, as soon as you come into EXO, there's definitely like a grooming. You know what I mean? Like, for sure.
How did they groom you, Nav? How did they groom you?
Just like, Cash used to scold me about things and stuff, but all that stuff made me who I am today. And now I understand it, sitting back and looking, I'm like, damn, everything that they told me, whatever I yelled at for, whatever it was all for my betterment.
Yeah, and I heard you past interview say how Weeknd's been involved with your music, sometimes with sequencing, sometimes with even finding a typo and stuff like that. Did he play a role in anything with the latest project?
I mean, to be honest, like everybody I played this one for, like, was like really like, yo, this shit's fire, and like almost didn't have much to say. So I was
Yeah.
like, it was kind of crazy this time around. Almost I thought people were just lying to me or something, but like I was like, damn, okay, cool. I might have just did it this time.
How inspiring though is to see, like, I mean, it's been a tough year for everybody, but your guy Abel's had a phenomenal 2020, and just to see his consistent evolution, like, what do you think makes him great, and what do you draw from that when you see him continue to rise as an artist?
I mean, not to sound like cliche, whatever, but like he's very humble, you know? He's like, it's like there's a bottle cap on the floor, he'll pick it up and throw it out. He's not like one of those guys, you know? He's really
Yeah,
cool and down to earth. He don't give a shit about nothing. Like he just he's I don't know. I don't know like what I don't know how he does it. I just be like I'm not really there. I'm not really there like all the time for his process. I'll be there here and there. Like we have our own worlds, you know, all three
yeah,
of us, me, him, and Belly. So I don't know. He just keeps doing it. I really don't know. And he can sing really well. Like I've heard him sing in a room when I've worked with him before, and it like makes the hair stand up on your arm. Like his pitch is like almost perfect, you know? And I know he
yeah,
worked on that too. It's not like a thing that he always had. So
yeah.
you see that he worked on it. You can see from like his earlier shows to now how crazy he sounds now. So when I see that, I'm like, yo, like that's the very human part of him where like he works hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. I think also to me, just witnessing him become like this sort of, career artist, right? Like the same thing I may have slept on you. Like, okay, this guy comes in, he's got some hot records, but is he going to be here for the long haul? Can he continue to evolve with different projects? Like, how has that been for you? Like, throughout your projects and evolving as an artist?
It's just I'm always just full of doubt. Like I'm always like doubting myself. Can I do it? Can I do it? Instead of walking in and being like, "Oh, I'm the shit," and anything I say is hot. Because I've had that attitude for a project before. I'd say Reckless, my album was. I went in with that attitude, like, "Oh, I'm blowing up right now," even though I wasn't even really blowing up on the grand scheme of things. I thought I was way bigger than I was. So
Yeah,
when I thought I was way bigger than I would just go and pick a beat, record, say whatever, and okay, cool, I'm checked out. Let's go party. And now it's like once I got the results from it, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let me go back to my roots. Like, I'm really just the kid who used to make beats in his mom's house, making songs. Like, I made beats in the trap out of my mom's house. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, that's
Travis.
what I have to tap back into that guy, the imagination, the really loving what I'm doing. And then there you go.
Exactly, man. I mean, you talk a lot about that, like you say, to riches from rags, right? Like rags to riches story. Like, I think it was a 10-year journey for you, right, to get to this place. Like, can you tell me a little bit about that? And then if somebody's so, like you keep saying, you're so doubtful, what do you think? How did you stay so determined and stay on this path and not give up?
Like I read the right books too, like a couple of books. Things like that helped, and just I don't know, like I gave up music a couple of times, and the last time I gave it up, it was like for a whole year, and then when I went back, it was really tough, like starting back to make beats because you're rusty, you're not as good anymore, and,
Yeah,
and and it was shitty. But that was at like the age of like 25. So think about it, I was battling that for that long because in Toronto when Drake and The Weeknd made it,
yeah.
there's kind of like it's them, and like to get to them, they already got their crew. So now everybody else trying to like kick in the door. We're all desperate, and I'm just in that sea of people. You know what I mean? Desperate to do it. Um, so yeah, it went from me making beats for people, selling beats, recording people, to quitting, starting back, and putting all my own money into it, and not selling beats or recording, just doing it for myself. And
Yeah,
it just took off. And I feel like at the age of like 26 or 27, I really had my breakthrough. So it's kind of like a never give up thing for
yeah.
real.
When did it turn though? Because we know one of your big places was back to back, and I know it wasn't necessarily intended that you knew it was going to be a diss record, but obviously that's a huge production. It's a classic hip hop history. Like why was it maybe that production would be your path, like to stay more behind the scenes? Like what was that turn where you realized that no, I really want to be at the forefront. I also want to get out there as an artist.
I mean, ironically, when I got the news of back to back dropping and I was a part of it, um, the same time one of my songs on SoundCloud, "Take Me Simple," was playing on OVO Radio. I'm blowing up. I blew up on both worlds, kind of like at the same time. And the artist part really took over more. Like people weren't really aware that I'm part of back to back, but they were aware of my music, and that's all they really needed me for in Toronto, especially in my city.
Yeah,
So both those things happened at the same time. So it's kind of like a sign from God, like you got to do both.
yeah. I just saw also what people know about you is that you seem like this guy who has these great solid relationships with a lot of peers in the game, right? It seems like Nav's out there with everybody that's hot. All the hottest MCs connect with Nav and you guys collaborate. Like, what do you attribute that to? Like, what makes you a strong collaborator, and how have you maintained to see solid relationships with your peers?
I mean, the people I work with, like even like someone like that, like Young Thug, Gunna, anybody you see me work with, like they're not corny people, so they really gonna stay away from stuff that's corny. And I feel like, I don't know, just being myself, like not trying to be like anybody else. They know, everyone knows me that I'm myself, and they know I'm a very predictable character. They know what I'm gonna do. They know when I'm gonna leave. You know what I mean? They know me, so it's like I feel like that gives them comfortability to like be cool, be my friend, and work.
Yeah, I want to talk about some of my favorites off the album. Speaking of working, you and Lil Baby, man, I got to give you your credit, man. Lil Baby's a feature machine. He can murder somebody in their own shit, but you held your own on that Don't Need Friends.
I mean, shit, thank God. He's been going crazy. He's actually been going crazy.
Yeah. He gave himself a own round of applause before his verse came in. Were you bugging when he laid that down?
He's bold. I like that
one. Also, I heard that the friends and family, obviously that song is hard. Like, I saw something with the one of the co-producers, Jasper. He had said that he had sent it to Roddy Ricch originally. Is that true? And Roddy passed on it.
I had no knowledge of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just picked the beat from Weezy and I started. That's one of the first songs that I laid down.
And also, like, I heard about him for a while, Little Key, but I feel like that record you got with him, Trains, that's like a really great showcase for him. You know, how did that come
up? Yeah, for sure. I don't know, me, I'm an engineer, so I'm gonna be like, I like the fact that he recorded in our environment with our stuff. I don't know. I feel like he sounds the best when, you know what I mean? He's recorded with me or something, you know? I like it's very consistent because we recorded in the same place. I hate sending records off and it coming back and it'd be difficult.
Yeah, so you gotta kick it in Nav in his studio. Make it right.
Yeah, I mean Cash Studio, but yeah.
Cash Studio. Same thing, home team. Talk about Modest for a second. That's like one of my low-key favorites on there. Like, I was gonna ask you about, you had this line about eating chicken on a Tuesday, same time Pluto made Honest. Like, can you talk about what that means? Or is that
here we go. I'm glad you brought this up because I was thinking people ain't gonna really understand that line. Unless you're from Toronto and you're like around my age, you know what I'm saying? My friends laughing in the background. But in Toronto when we were younger, there was a Toonie Tuesday at KFC.
Okay.
And a toonie is a $2 coin in Canada. So we don't have no dollar bill or nothing. So we got a $2 coin, and you could literally go get 2 pieces of chicken with French fries for $2. And now I don't know if they still have it. It might be like $4 now or something. But back you know, when we were younger, like that's what we were eating. You know, struggle meal.
Wow. You gotta get those number lavish meals now, man. Right?
Yeah. I still eat the garbage head stuff too. I still eat the bullshit.
What's this Internet Money song like this taking off? Like, it seemed like out of nowhere, Internet Money's the group, and you was on there with Gunna. You and Gunna have like 10 collabs. Like, you and Gunna have 8 million records, but this Internet Money record's really taking off. Like, did that surprise you?
All the time. It's never the song that I think that's gonna blow up. It's never the one that I like. It's always one that I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I'm like, yeah, it's a good song. It's cool, but I don't think it's my hardest song. But then you never know. It just goes crazy.
Okay, before we get out, give me a personal top 5 Nav records. I caught one the other day. That was a random one. I was catching me. She Hurtin'. I thought that was a catchy. For some reason, a random one. I don't know. But,
I'll say number 1, Myself. Number 2, 10 Toes Down. I'm an OG Nav fan. What else? I really like Nasty off the new record. What else? Vicodin. I'm weird because I don't know. And then I say probably me and Gunna Car Sick.
Yeah.
Those 5 for sure.
What's it about you and Gunna, man? I got to kick it with Gunna, man. Gunna took me to a strip club just to have chicken after we did the car test. Like, and he was just mad cool. And it was like no entourage. Like, it was just like just random. Like, and it was just like, just wanted to kick it. Like, we was on our phones. Like, he's just a really good dude, man. Like, I guess that's why you guys are so connected, so strong.
I mean, it's all organic. Like, it came from me and Weezy knowing each other for a long time. Then Weezy pulled up on me in the studio one day, and he played me one of Gunna's songs, Invest, from that Drip or Drown, the older album. And he's like, oh, you should get on it. I'm like, nah, I don't want to get on a song if I haven't met the guy and do some weird stuff like that. So I'm like, let me meet him. Then we end up meeting each other in Lil Uzi's hotel room. Uzi had a homecoming show. So everything is happening organically, you know? And like, I know Gunna from when like he was just running around by himself too. So I like that. I like coming up with people. She feels good.
Anything else we should look forward to outside this album? Any outside features? Any producer placements? Anything secret you cooking up for the end of the year?
Shit, I got a lot of time now, but I'm working on my album and I'm working like really hard, like getting very intricate with it, and I'm excited because I'm coming off this project and everybody's happy with what I did. So my new project should be a mix of like, you know, the good lyrics, the good topics, good everything, and then also my production hands-on, you know. So I'm ready. I'm ready to go back to work.
You say you can't chase success without enjoying the journey. Are you enjoying the journey?
I feel like the last 5 years flew by because I was always thinking about what's next, and I didn't really live in the moment. But now I take time to, like, you know, feel like I'm here right now, like feel where I'm at right now. And I feel like this year I really kind of started realizing like, yo, I can't let this shit fly by and not enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, the brown boy got to get his respect, man. I appreciate it finally making this happen, man. Hope you can chop it up in person one day, sir.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah. Continue success now.
Thank you, man. Be safe, man.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Title check in now.